all joke doodles aside, today I feel stupid. Oh gosh.
Stay.
It's a lot of pink. Some of these are pink. This says it's red. We have a lot of pink today, and we're gonna use that pink for some fun stuff. It's the lily factor. Ding! Kind of felt like conquering the battle I've always had with acrylic paints is I just don't understand them. And I'm not sure if I just haven't figured out quite yet how to make it blend with my art style or what. I haven't figured them out. So today I'm going to remedy that with an idea I've come up with that involves a portrait study. I really like how this person's face is shaped. I just think it has a lot of nice angles, and I'm hoping that I can really frame each shadow on this person's face so it'll be easier for me to paint with acrylics, and that way I can kind of somehow figure out a way to understand these acrylics. Da-dee-da-dee-da. Ooh, I didn't even think about it. She's not pink in the picture. Guess that's up to me. No, this is just awful. This person, her face is just really interesting. Like, you can see her, you can't see her, I can see her, but her cheekbone structure is really pointed, and it's just really angular. Actually, it reminds me of a cartoon character who is actually a guy, but he has a similar jaw structure. I'm not gonna say his name though, because I don't want to jeopardize the look of this character by telling you who it looks like, and then you guys just look at it and that's all you think of the whole entire time you see it. Don't want to do that, especially not to this person who has a really interesting face. This one I just knew was going to be a lot of fun for me, because I like to draw stuff that kind of is off the rocker for me. You just don't really see stuff like it. That's just kind of my favorite thing, because I'm like, no one else is drawing this, so. This is a really different looking person, and I like it a lot. I don't want it to be really well drawn, because either I'll feel bad about painting on top of it and essentially ruining it, but I also don't want to add a whole lot of detail since I'm going to be painting on top of it. It'll just be a waste of time. Ooh, this is a big nose. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, this nose is gonna get some work done here. She's getting herself a nose job. How nice. I don't know how she can afford it. Now for the eyes. Luckily, these kind of eyes match my style a little bit, but it's still a little hard to draw because as an artist, you're supposed to tell people what to see. And it's a little complicated to do that sometimes because you can look at it and go, well, that's obviously a tomato. But if someone looks at this, they're gonna be like,
that is a human being, not a tomato. Are you crazy?
Don't worry, guys, I'm not drawing a tomato. Doing these little fine details that none of you will be able to see. She's got kind of an arched eyebrow thing going on. Very interesting and mysterious. Okay, I really exaggerated the chin here. It's probably because I'm thinking of the cartoon character that looks like her. See, that's why I'm not telling you guys who it is, because it kind of jeopardizes that. Look how it's affecting me. Now all I'm seeing is this cartoon character, and that's all I'm drawing with her face. I'm just gonna shade that eye a bit, because why not? She won't judge me. Okay, I'm actually gonna bring the nose down a little bit more and make it smaller. The only thing that's tricky about this nose is her other nostril is not visible. You just get a little shadow that looks like her nostril, so that's gonna be fun for me to paint. What always gets annoying is this little lip gap, because when you start it off, it looks really childish and unprofessional. But when it's all said and done, it's not. It's, you know, more realistic, and then people won't be like, you draw like a child. Get ready, because you're about to see what I'm going to do to this drawing to make it fit as a little, you know, sort of key to tell myself how to paint this with acrylics. And that's going to be something else. Please, don't stress on the second eye. Don't try to make it perfect. Just try to make it match up. I had seen this really good piece of advice before on drawing two eyes. If it's this sideways angle, like this one, you don't want the eyes to be the same width. You just want them to be the same height. One eye, in this case, this eye, is going to be smaller in width, but not in height. Just a little something I read about, and that I think is really good advice. I really want to shade this hair, and it looks like that's what I'm doing. Please stop. Hard to resist shading this hair. See, this is why I shouldn't be shading, because now I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, I don't want to paint over it and ruin it, but I'm gonna have to.
She's got like such a cool face going on.
What's fun about art is you can notice, like, especially if you're drawing portraits of people, you can really start to pay attention to just how many different features people have. It's really fascinating. Like, there's some people who have just so many different, like, things to their features it gets, like, really crazy fascinating. Like, and then you get to name the features too. I have names for certain features, but I don't really want to say them just because I don't want to offend anyone. They're not, like, offensive, but they're just, you know, really lazy names and kind of immature, so we'll just leave that a mystery. She's got a shadow right here. It's kind of a diamond shape, and it goes under the eyes, like so. Then she's got shadow right on the nose here. Then of course she has a shadow right here, but there's this empty space where there's no shadow right on her lip. Oh gosh, look how cringeling that looks. And we're gonna frame the cheek a bit here. She has this white outline on her chin. It's really fascinating. She has this weird, like, triangle where there's no shadow hitting. It's kind of odd. Probably part of, like, the cheek muscle or something. It's funny, I'm really exaggerating her shadows on her face, but if you see the actual picture, she does not have very much lighting and shadows that are obvious or visible, because she's like, the picture's out in the daytime on a well-lit, like, picture. So it's not really that noticeable. She has one more little light spot right here. Okay, and then she's got one shadow here, obviously, because there's the nose. So she'd have to have a shadow here because there's like a nose line thing going on. I'm gonna just harden that right there so I know the difference between her eye and that shadow. Obviously, there's always gonna be like a dark shadow on the neck, and she's kind of got some like lines here. Then she has a weird line here. It's not weird, sorry. It's just very interesting. There's this shadow right here for her shirt. So, how'd you like my butchering of this beautiful face? Did I butcher it enough? Is it well butchered? Let me know. This is kind of a breakdown for those of you who don't notice. This is a breakdown of shadows and lighting on a person's face. So if you're really paying attention to someone's face, this is kind of it's still not fully exaggerated. I kind of really made it soft because, I don't know, I just don't like butchering drawings that well. She really has a lot of lighting and shadows, and like I said, if you could actually see the picture of her, she doesn't have much that's like that obvious, and so it's really crazy just to see how much goes on that we don't see for lighting and shadows, and it's just mind blown. We've got the brushes, the palette, the paints. What more could we ask for? Water. That's what we could ask for. I've noticed that this paint is very watery, And I'm not sure if someone added water to this paint, because I didn't. That's a none. This paint is no good. Whoa, that is so dark. So dark. I'm scared. So dark. Why, cruel world? So I'm kind of going over these light areas here with what I thought was my lightest pink, and I'm starting to second guess that. This is really, really weird. I do charge for my brilliant commentary, so pay up. Okay, so queso. Queso. Lily was then ashamed of the second paint color she had chosen for it. It was very useless. Oh, nearly. Okay, looking at this now, I can really see that in view, it doesn't look very appealing, I guess is the way to put it. It's... But I feel like I'm kind of understanding better just how all the lighting and shadows are supposed to look, like how it's supposed to hit her. And I feel like that's a little more comforting for me. It's always good to try other mediums because even if you don't like the medium, there's always something new you can learn about it. When I started out with using Copic markers, I didn't understand anything about like blending anything, but when I started using Copics and I learned, oh, you can blend Copics, and there's like this whole thing there that you can do with Copics, I started to actually, well, I figured them out. They became kind of my favorite art utensil, but it really helped me learn just like what I like to go into my style, which with Copics I learned that I like my art style to be really well blended, to look smooth, which I feel just using Copic sketch markers, they really influenced my art style without even trying to find out something new for my style. Just trying that medium helped me grow as an artist. So I think it's always important to try something new regardless of how much you hate it. This is actually looking really well for me. It's very different from what I like to do, but I think that's what I like about it, is it's something new. I was like, there's a reason I'm using this brush with this color. What was it? It was because of this. Because friendship matters. The ceiling is the roof, and the floor is the ground, feet are the foot, water's wet. I could do this all day. When it comes to acrylic paints, at least you can like fix your mistakes, you know, you just go over it with white paint and be like, yay, fixed it. And then everyone's like, no, you didn't. But you're like, yes, I did. This is so foreign to me. I'm serious, I've never done anything like this before. So this may be like I know I've seen these kind of looks before when it comes to paint. I know it's like a common style, but I've never like tried to do this. I don't save those kind of styles as like a photo reference or anything. So when I say it's foreign, I really mean it's foreign. It's just the little details that make me happy. I tell you, I'm a sucker for detail. Like, if you want to do something that will wow me, just like draw a bunch of detail that like is completely unneeded or unnecessary, and I will just be like the happiest person in the world to see it. I'll be like, wow, detail, love it. Because I do, I love detail. I really do. Hard to try and multitask when you're painting. It's kind of impossible. Like, can you imagine trying to like do the dishes and paint at the same time, or like cook a meal and paint at the same time, or just try and talk and paint at the same time. I dare you. Like, oh, she dared me, now I have to do it. Then I'm like, oh yeah, well I double dog dare you. And I'm like, no. Ha 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 ha. They're like, still not doing it, and I'm like, okay, triple dog dare you. Then the room goes quiet. It's pretty much done. I'm just gonna add some touch-ups to the lighter coat because since it is light, it's not as noticeable as some of the other colors are. I feel like touching up her face a bit has kind of helped these colors soften a bit. Before it was a little harsh, which is kind of what I wanted it to be, but now they're not so harsh. And I mean, I'm not upset about that. It's fine. It's good. It's all good over here. I like it. I like it a lot. Final touch-ups are the best. You always think you're done until you do these. Then you're not done for hours and hours on end. You're just never done. You just keep going at it. And it never seems to stop. You're just still going and going. Being the person that I am, I tried to go and add a little more detail to this, and well, I'm suffering the consequences, as you can see. Ooh. Who knew fabric paint and highlighters did this? That's kind of weird, but I like it. Gives it like a light blue look. For those of you who don't know, a regular old highlighter mixed with white fabric paint equals this. So please give it a try, or don't. See, this is just one of the many reasons you should try new mediums, because you learn so many things about them. It's ridiculous. Like, I had no idea that this is what would happen if I took some paint, brush, and I went over a highlighter. This is just like one of those crazy happy incidents. I'm really happy about that. I did not know this was a possibility. Did anyone know about this, please? Like, if you knew about this, let me know. This is so weird. Also, if you're wondering why I'm using fabric paint, like, you're like, tell me, why are you using fabric paint? You stupid. Well, I am using fabric paint because the white paint is currently going to someone else right now. And I don't really want to have to go and borrow it and then bring it back, because I don't really own the acrylic paints I'm using. These are borrowed from some friends using them. So yeah, I didn't expect to need white, though I should have. That's why, you know, I have fabric paint, because believe it or not, even though I don't have paints lying around, I have fabric paints lying around, so that's ironic. That being said, done. My environment around me. And then back to the drawing. Ta-da! Here it is, in its full glory. I definitely think this technique paid off. I think it really helped me understand just painting and then adding lighting, shadows, and such onto a face to make it look like a face, which it is. It's a face. And I think it was a lot of fun. It was really rewarding. I mean, who knew cookies were in the package? So I'd say I was rewarded pretty well. If you guys want to try this technique out, I say give it a try, because it worked for me and it was a lot of fun. If you hate acrylic paints, I definitely recommend just trying to use acrylics, even if you hate them, because you never know what you can learn from them. Who knows, if you figure out how to use acrylics the way you want to use them, they might end up becoming your favorite art medium. And that's really worth the time and the effort. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, cool. Thank you for watching me experiment, watching me tamper around and see how many stupid mistakes I can make and what I can learn from it. And I really hope you can take this and go somewhere with it. And even if you don't think this painting would help you learn to love acrylics, what you did learn is that highlighters and fabric paints mix. Who knew, right? That's so cool. Thank you for watching. Good luck in life and in art.